Hello everyone. So today let's start with the next topic, that is the tissue system. Okay. So tissue system, actually it is the grouping of tissues which are derived from specific portion of the meristematic tissues, and they perform the same functions, okay, in the plant. Now these tissues system, that means all the organization of a tissues which assemble together to form a group of or common functions, okay, that is which is called as tissue system. Now Sach has distinguished three types of tissue system. So first of all, let us go through the epidermal tissue system. Now epidermal tissue system, so as you can see, the outer layer of the plant body, isn't it? That means the outer layer which is formed of almost rectangular cells. These are unicellular cells and they form normally the single layer. So this particular tissues are called as the epidermal tissue system. Okay. Now this epidermal tissue system, it consists of different parts. So first of all is the epidermis. These are actually external or surface layer which is present around various organs of the plant. They are outermost and protective in nature. Okay. Now these cells are elongated multiseriate but tubular type cells. Okay. The diagram itself indicates that they are tubular cells. Now they are arranged compactly, that means there is no any intercellular space in between the cells. These are living cells, okay, nucleus is there, cell organelles are there, and central vacuole is there, but chloroplast is absent. Okay, so chloroplast is present only in the guard cells of stomata, otherwise in epidermal layer chloroplast is absent. And the adjacent cells, they are interconnected with the help of plasmodesmata, that is the cytoplasmic bridge. Now, the special thin area occurs in the external wall of the epidermis. So, this is known as the ectodesmata. Okay, so this is the thin layer which is called the ectodesmata. In grasses, the epidermal cells are of two types, the long cells and the short cells. The short cells are again consisting of silica and cork cells. Okay, the cork cells, they possess suberized walls, and the silica cells, they consist of depositions of silica which gives a abrasive nature to the leaf surface, for which the herbivorous animals normally avoid these types of leaves from eating. Okay, another type of thing is present, that is the bulliform cells. They are found in the grasses. These are larger cells, okay, that are present in the epidermis, and these particular cells, they help in folding of the leaves during the drought condition. That means when water scarcity occurs, so they will fold the leaf and help the plant to survive that condition. So these specialized cells are called the bulliform cells. In some plants, inner to the epidermal cell contains large crystals of calcium carbonate, okay, which is known as the cystolith, as for example in rubber plants, banyan plant. Okay. Now, as we are telling that this is the outer protective layer, so similarly in roots also this layer is present, and this is normally known as the epiblema. Okay, here some may develop root hairs, okay, from the epidermal cell. This is an extra outgrowth which occurs, and due to the formation of root hairs, the epiblema cells are called as the piliferous layer. Okay, so next we come to the stomata, the second part of the epidermal tissue system. So stomata, as you can see, it consists of two guard cells, okay, kidney shaped guard cells, but in Cyperaceae and Poaceae, the stomata are dumbbell shaped. Okay, these stomata, they consist of nucleus, chloroplast. In between, a thick portion is there which covers the pore, that is known as the stomatal pore. Surrounding these tissues cells are the large sized epidermal cells which are known as the subsidiary cells. So the stomatal guard cell, stomatal pore, and the subsidiary cells, they together form the stomatal apparatus. Okay, now whenever they open, this outer wall stretches out and makes a hole. Okay, and when we are studying about the number of stomata, so definitely we come across a formula, that is the stomatal index. That means I, which represents stomatal index, equal to S divided by E plus S into 100. S means the total number of stomata per unit area. E is the number of epidermal cells per unit area. Okay, so when we divide this and multiply it with 100, so we get the stomatal index. Okay, so again, sometimes in some plants, the stomata, it remains properly in normal condition and the subsidiary cells are just present at the same level of the stomata. But in some plants, basically in xerophytic plants, the stomata are covered by the subsidiary cells. Then we call them as the sunken stomata. Okay. So next two stomata are the epidermal appendages. So there are different types of epiderm, mainly trichomes and emergences. So trichomes are unicellular or multicellular outgrowths. They are hairs and scales. They may be glandular, also non-glandular. The glandular hairs, they take part in secretion, and the non-glandular hairs, they form a sort of air trapping mechanism which reduces the rate of transpiration. So in the diagram you can see that these are the different types of trichomes. This is a unicellular unbranched, this is multicellular unbranched, this is stellate hair, this is branched hair, this is T-shaped hair. So these are the different types of trichomes present in the plants. Okay. So other than that also some emergences are present. That means we can, as you can see here, some prickle-like structures develop in case of some plants like rose. So this is also a type of epidermal appendages. Okay. Now this epidermal tissue system, it is basically important because it provides a protection or acts as an outer covering around the plant organs. Okay. It protects the internal tissues from mechanical injury, external environment. It prevents excessive loss of water through transpiration, and a large number of stomata helps in exchange of gases through transpiration. Okay. Then this bulliform cells are also present, which helps the leaves to overcome the drought conditions, and most importantly the cotton seed. These are actually the epidermal outgrowths which are present, hair-like structures. These hairs are the main fiber present in the cotton seed. Okay. So this is our epidermal tissue system, the outermost covering. Next we come to the ground tissue system. Ground tissue system, it constitutes the maximum part of the whole tissue. Okay. Now the epidermis, it emerges or it forms from the dermatogen layer, and this ground tissue, they are developed from the peribleum. Okay. So they basically main function is storage of food, lateral conduction of materials, they provide mechanical support, they manufacture food due to presence of chlorophyll, and also some internal secretions. Now this is also divided into different parts. So first is the hypodermis. Now hypodermis, it forms the outer supporting cylinder just below the epidermis. Okay. In dicots, it is formed of collenchyma and sclerenchyma, but in monocots, these are formed of basically sclerenchyma tissues. Now their main function is to provide mechanical support. Okay. They have spaces which allows gaseous exchange, and also they store and photosynthesize the foods. Okay. Then next is the general cortex. It consists of thin wall parenchyma cells. So as the name parenchyma, so definitely they are living cells. They are round, oval or angular cells. Okay. They will store food, perform photosynthesis, and also they will provide buoyancy in hydrophytic plants. Then next is the mesophyll tissue, the most important one, because these are the tissues where chlorophyll is present. The mesophyll tissues are present just next to the hypodermis. They are of two types. Okay, these are basically present in case of leaves. Two types of mesophyll tissues are there: palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. Palisade parenchyma are columnar cells compactly arranged, whereas spongy parenchyma are round cells which are loosely arranged. Now, as we are telling that chlorophyll is present, so definitely their main function is to perform photosynthesis. Okay. They will receive the optimum light energy. They will utilize the solar energy. They have own aerating system for absorption of carbon dioxide and evolution of oxygen. Okay. Then next is the endodermis. Endodermis, this is absent in case of monocots, but in dicots these are present. They are differentiated as starch sheets. So these particular layers, as you can see in the diagram, they have cells similar to that of the epidermis, but here the cells are smaller as compared to them. Okay, these are unicellular, circular in roots. Then they also possess some type of thickenings. Okay, Casparian strips are also present in these endodermal layers. Then their main function is they act as a checkpoint between isolated cells. Okay, that means they have a substances which may enter in cell. Okay, that means they have passage cells which allow substances to pass through them. Then they also prevent backflow of minerals from the root interiors. Okay, so after that we come to the pericycle, which is the next layer, okay, of the ground tissue system. It occurs between endodermis and the vascular bundles. It is generally one or sometimes few layered. Okay, it consists of sclerenchyma cells or parenchyma cells. Okay, and its main function is to provide mechanical support. Then they store food. Then they also produces phallogens, that means a part of the vascular cambiums, and these pericycles are normally absent in the aquatic plants. Then next is the pith, which is also known as medulla. It is the central part of the ground tissue. Okay, it consists of parenchymatous cells. It functions for storage of food and other substances and provide mechanical support. And last one is the medullary rays. These are connected to pith and cortex. They are parenchymatous. They form the interfascicular cambiums, and moreover they also help in food storage. Okay, so these are the different parts of the ground tissue system. The third one is the vascular tissue system. So vascular tissue system means definitely it will consist of xylem and phloem. Okay, so based on how these xylem and phloem are arranged, the vascular tissues are of different types. So first is the radial type of vascular bundles. Here the xylem and phloem occur in the form of separate vascular bundles. As you can see, they are appearing like separate bundles and they are occurring alternately. Xylem, phloem like that. This is called radial. Okay. Then next is the conjoint collateral close. That means phloem is towards the outer part, xylem towards the inner part, and cambium tissue is absent. This vascular bundle is known as conjoint collateral close. Again, conjoint collateral open. That means xylem, phloem, and in between cambium tissue is there. The next type is conjoint bicollateral open. That means xylem is in the middle part. Outer part, two patches of phloem are present, and between them, two patches of cambium tissues are present. So this is known as conjoint bicollateral open. Then next is the centric type. So if the xylem is present in the center and phloem towards the outer part, then it is known as amphicribal concentric. And if the central part is occupied by phloem and it is covered by xylem throughout, then it is known as amphivessel concentric. Okay. So based on the position of xylem and phloem, these are the different types of vascular bundles. These are important. You have to study them well. Okay. And remember them. Conjoint collateral close if cambium absent. Conjoint collateral open if cambium present. If two layers of phloem, two cambium, then bicollateral. If xylem inside, phloem outside, amphicribal. If phloem inside, xylem outside, amphivessel. Okay. So as we know that the functions of xylem, so these vascular bundles also, they will have similar function, vascular tissue system. They will help in conduction of water and minerals and food which is prepared from different parts of the plant. Okay. Water and minerals from root to different parts and food from leaves to the different parts of the plant. So these are the three main tissue systems which is present in plant: epidermal tissue system, ground tissue system, and vascular tissue system. Go through the video properly, go through the notes. If you have any problem, then let me know.